Sometimes these can really throw a fit. Just gotta be patient with it. Get this ring compressed. Going to go grab a screwdriver real quick, if that'll help me. Grab the little flat blade here and keep a little pressure down against it. Slip this in. I think we got her going now. I'll go back over to the other side. You can see it popped out. Just going to fight us all the way. Keep some pressure on it. Start from the back. I think we just got that one, YouTube. Yep, got it in there. That was number 2. I think, maybe not. Let's started. Yeah, it's in there. Now just this oil wiper or oil ring. Same thing. Nice, gentle, slow. Sides in, go to that side. Yes, this is a royal pain doing this in the tractor like this, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Back over to the other side, maybe. Well, I'm slipping this ring in there. I'm keeping pressure down against it with the cylinder. Keep it from sliding out while I'm finagling it down in there. working on stuff like this, I don't wear gloves because you can't feel exactly what you got going on. That really makes it a pain. Just broke that oil ring. Awesome. Super, super awesome. Okay, after that ordeal, I had to order another set of piston rings. Broke both the new and the old oil ring. This one here, there's a part of it. Yeah, this is the inner spring that goes inside of that. So it's such a pain to compress and get in there. I was pretty upset the other day, had to turn off the camera. Got the head back on, jug back on. Just got it torqued. We went a little overkill. We went ahead and torqued it down to 110 foot-pounds. For the 4 head bolts here, you had to set the valve lash. Got to take off my fancy-dancy spring retainers I decided to use this time. 2 pairs of the vice grips. I'll show you real quick. So I hooked them, I went ahead and pressed the spring in the vise and hooked the vice grips underneath of it. And that way I was able to compress that spring. I'm going to have to slip that in there. That didn't go quite in there all the way. Neither did that one, but we'll get that slipped down in there. That'd be alright. And we're on our way to putting her back together now. Gonna set the valve lash, put the valve cover back on, crank this over to dump a little fuel out of the injector lines, blow out the injectors, put the reman injectors back in, and we're gonna see how it runs. Pretty excited. Getting closer, guys. Gonna go ahead and set the valve clearances here. This is the correct feeler gauge. I don't know if you can read that or not. 0.008, I believe, is 8 thousandths of an inch. I see about setting these valves. Both of them, intake and exhaust, are both the same. We don't have any drag really on either one of them. Want just a touch of drag, which doesn't surprise me because we did put a little thicker head gasket back in it. You loosen that nut, which is your lock nut, and you take the screw and put it in just a hair. Go ahead and snug that back up and recheck. Nope. Go a little farther. Give that a try right there. Too tight. Back it out just a hair. Snug this up. You gotta take your measurement when your lock nut's snug, because if not, you won't get an accurate measurement. It pushes the set screw up out of the push rod when you tighten it down all the way, and takes up all the lash. There's just a little bit of resistance there. We're going to call that good. The whole setting the valves thing is a or using a feeler gauge is kind of a art. You got to get used to how much drag you do or don't want, and it takes a little bit of practice. Everybody uses one a little differently, but you just kind of get a feel for having just a little bit of drag. I went ahead and put a little oil on these the valve stems here, if we're running the feeler gauge between the valve stems and the rocker arms. I went ahead and put a little oil in there just to make it a little nicer to run this in and out with. Still a little too tight there. Still too tight. Still a little too loose there. You just want just barely to fill the drag on that. It's still a little too loose. This will probably get it, guys. Yep, just a little bit of drag. That there is excellent. When in doubt, use ultra black, guys. It's the only stuff to use for this, in my opinion, when you're reusing gaskets. Putting a light coat back on here. Already got the gasket back on there. Try not to get any big globs on the inside where the valve cover is, of the inside of the valve cover. Try to keep a little dirt out of it too if you can. Just making a nice thin layer all the way across here. Just kind of take up the space of any imperfections. We go back together with it. Okay, this is super easy to do with the injectors out. Got all sorts of room down in here. I get this down in here, kind of where it wants to be. Grab our bolt. Degrease it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put some more ultra black around the head here where it goes. They make a specific gasket, but never really had luck with those paper gaskets on this engine. May even be a washer, but I've never seen one. There hasn't been one on any of the heads here. Run this thing down in there. You want to do all this while the gasket maker is still wet. That way it finds where it needs to go and sets up shop. Where did I put my wrench at? Okay, I will clarify real quick for the previous videos. Did have a chipped ring, broken ring, which I said we didn't have a problem with. Got that resolved, as you've probably previously seen. Did have a bad injector. Got that replaced, or rebuilt, new tips in them I should say. Valves adjusted. We did all 4 injectors. Valves adjusted. Head gasket on this cylinder. New O-ring around the base of this cylinder. That's tight there. Wipe off a little bit of the goop. I'm going to go ahead and change position for you. We're going to drop the 4 injectors back in, clamp them down. I'm going to have to go read in the book what the torque spec is, and we'll get back to that. We'll be about ready to fire this thing up.